Hello, everyone. Nothing much has really happened since last week. But last week we did a little build, a budget build. And today I would like to talk about a few GPUs and end up making a mid-tier build. The changes from last week is mostly that the B570 has gone up in price again. And at this price, I think there are better options. And the 560 has gone down in price too and is now also very attractive, below 30 kronas per frame, and has very high performance. It's been lower. It's been down at 2000 at some point, and back then it was a very good price, and this is still a very good price. It's still a tad bit more expensive than the 6650 XT, and I think they both are recommendable for each of their price point. Where I would say the 6650 XT is a budget GPU, I would say that the 5060 is an entry level GPU. And what is the difference between a budget and an entry level? An entry level is about the cheapest price point, not necessarily the cheapest price point of them all, of the newest generation, but the price point where you would see them put in the cheaper pre-built PCs. Back in the 3000s days, it would be a 3060, and today it would be a 5060. And the budget tier would be up until the 5050. And even the 7600 XT is also the budget card. I don't know why they have it as such high performance because it doesn't have better performance than the 6700 non XT, it just has more RAM. Still not a very great card for its price, and I would not recommend it. So, budget price or the budget tier is usually previous generations lower tier cards that are sold cheaper than MSRP, a lot cheaper than MSRP because they want to just get rid of them. The 5050 is a budget card through and through. It's slower and it's worse and it's not bad, but it's definitely not recommendable. I think this is what the 5060 should cost, and I think the 5050 should be around 1600 kronos. In the entry level, we start with the B580 and the 6750 XT. There are no 6758. It's difficult to say. 6750 XTs available at the moment. Amazon DE, they had a few of them for a long time, but now there are none left. And then we have the 5060 and the 9060, 8 GB. There are also a 9060, but it's only sold through pre-builds, and it's a little worse than the 5060. But since you can't buy it and build with it, don't include it in this because it won't be listed in the price. And how far up does entry level go? And I think the entry level goes to the 5060 8 GB, around this price point here. I think, yeah, if we exclude this one also because you just shouldn't buy it at all. This would be our entry level graphics card. I think the 5060 Ti 16 GB is in reality entry level, but it's just about the 90 FPS mark, and I think it will last a long time. So I think it's reasonable to call it a mid tier. And the mid tier goes all the way up to the 5070. And the 5070 is, by most definition, a mid tier card. It's like the mid tier of mid tier cards. And above that, we have the high end cards. And above that, we have the enthusiast or the professional cards. There are, of course, more than the ones on this list. You can look them up on Tech Power. You just go in here and find the 5090 and you scroll down and find the card you want, and you find a card in the same neighborhood as these cards, and they would be around. But where would the lowest I would recommend going today is the 2060 or the 5700. These are the lowest or weakest cards I would recommend, because if you go below that, you get the 10 series and they are no longer supported. Everything before the 20 series will not be driver supported anymore. If you play old games, it won't be a problem at all. They will still play these games probably, but if you play new games like Fortnite and new patches come in, it won't support new features. It can tank, it can get stuttery, it can do a lot of shit. It might not, but it's in that range where I wouldn't recommend anything less than a 2060. 2060 is still reasonably budget card. You would see it's a little, it's a great deal worse than this 6650 XT. You see, this is the first card I recommend buying from new, but you could easily do with less if you buy used, and you can get it much, much cheaper. You could also buy a used 3060 12 GB, but people they think they're gold nuggets and they sell them very expensive. I don't know why, but that's what they do. Often at the same price as a new 2070 Super or 2080 is also very good. You can see you can get a used 2080 probably for cheaper than the 5050, and it's about the same. And with the 20 series, you still get the good upscaler. You don't get access to frame generation, the multi frame generation or frame generation at all, but you don't really want to use it on such a low card anyway. You want a high base frame rate and then boost to a very high base frame rate. You don't want a low base frame rate and then boost it to a higher frame rate, because you will still have the experience of the low frame rates. And you even use some of the resources to generate the frame, so you get even lower base frame when you use the frame generation. So no frame generation on lower cards anyway. So these are the lowest I would recommend buying: the 3060 or the RX 5700. You could also go 5600 XT used. So, but I think we should try and make a mid-tier build. I'm going to use Price Runner again, and we will use the 5070 as our backbone. The Palette is not a great card manufacturer. It's a cheap card manufacturer. It's on par with the cheapest, the WindForce and the Ventus ones, and the 3Ds. And Zotac, it's maybe a little bit better than Zotac. Palette and PNY is like a notch over 3D and Zotac, I think. When it comes to cooling solution, Gainward is also one of the cheaper ones. But this is not a this is a 250 watt card. It doesn't require the top notch cooling solutions of the higher tier cards. So I think it will be fine in this category. And Elgiganten has this on offer right now. So I think we will use this for our build. 5070 mid tier build. We could also have gone with a 5060 Ti, but I think this is better. I say, but don't you want 16 gigabyte? Yeah, I think I'd rather want the better performance actually. It's a lot better. Like over 100, less than 90. With this build, we want to keep this build for a long time. So we want a good motherboard, a really good motherboard. Not a high-end motherboard at all, but we want a motherboard we can upgrade on. And I actually think these two are. What's the difference? Oh, it's the 650. It's too bad there are no more 650Es left, but we could also go with a Micro ATX build. It's a little bit cheaper. It would be a smaller form factor. We could do that another day. Today we're doing ATX build, and I think we just go with the tough. The reason why we go with the 850 is because we will have great Wi-Fi and we will have PCIe 5. If we go with a B650, there will not be PCIe 5, and then it would not be as future-proof as the Asus one. This is also a great motherboard. It's not a bad motherboard. It's just we won't be able to buy a PCIe 5 in 3 or 4 years and put it in. And if we do that on a PCIe 4, we will lose performance. So that is why I would go with this one. We also want some RAM. For this, we should maybe go for a CPU also. I think we would want to go with a rather cheap CPU. We could go as low as a 7500F, but I think that is a little bit too low. You can overclock it a lot, so it becomes equal to the 7600X. We could also go with an Intel build, but this is rather expensive too. I think we will go with 9600X. It's really good. I have been saying this since it came out that it was probably the one to get, and everyone said, "No, you need to get this other one, this 75." But it's really, really good. It's very fast, single circuit performance, not single circuit, single core performance, and this is really what carries the performance in especially shooter games. Not so much many cores, but rather the single core speed. And let's 32, 6,000. We go CL30. It doesn't matter too much if you go CL30 or 32, but this is the sweet spot. We go price performance. We find some. I think this is SK Hynix ones. I think we take these ones. Could also go with RGB, but I'm not a great fan of RGB. I think it's just a lot of distraction. on the table. And if you don't have it on the table and you have it under the desk, then why would you have a lot of RGB just going to waste beneath the table? So I'm not an RGB guy. If you want RGB, you can pay more for RGB. It's not a lot more, but you can pay. You could probably also get some of these, but I don't want to sit here and research on which type of dye is in these because it takes a long time. I just remember those were like a right one. So we have a graphics card, we have the CPU, we have RAM, we have motherboard, we need a case. I am thinking a few options. We could go Ultra Feed, we could go the Montec XR, Fish Tank look. I think I actually have cases here. Yeah, I have cases. A certain price performance. I think we would get better airflow with these models, and especially the Montec Air 903 Max is a really good one, and the Fantex XT Pro. I think the XT Pro has little better fans. You could also go with a Pop. The Pop Air is really good also, or maybe even the Asus A31. But I think since this is a build we want for a very long time, I think maybe we should go with Fantex Eclipse. We could also go with the Montec Sky 2 side window panel. Who has it on? I don't know. It's geeked again. They don't even have it in stock, I think. It's not. We'll go with the 207. 207 is a really beautiful case. This mesh is a dust filter and it pops right off. It's easy to dust off. It has two very big fans in the front, pushes a lot of air. It has also fans in the bottom here. It has room for a 360 here. We would have to buy a single fan for the back, I think. Then we would have intake in the bottom and the front and exhaust in the top and the back. And I think that would be good. Then we would have exhaust here to take out everything. Yeah, I think. So I think this is a beautiful case. And you can shut off the RGB. Only thing I don't like about this case is that the IOs are on top. I like that the button is not a big button, so if you have a cat or something, it will jump up and close the computer. They learn that pretty quickly. If they want something to eat, they go up and shut down the computer. But this is a really good case. It has excellent airflow. It also has a dust filter in the bottom. I think I'm sold on this one. Let's put this one on the list too. So, mini computer cooling. I think we have two options. We can go, oh, what did I push? There we go. Frozen A620. We go ultra cheap with the Frozen A620. This is a really good air cooler. It's cheap and it's not very great build, but it has a lot of heat sinks and it has a lot of cooling capabilities. Or we could go with the Arctic. Liquid Freezer 3. It's a little more expensive. three times as much, but it's also a lot better. I think for this build, because we want a build now that can last for many years, and we also want this to be able to carry over to a new CPU that might use a lot more wattage than whatever we have now. So we could buy a cheaper air cooler, but it might not be able to cool our future CPU when we upgrade that. And we know now that Zen 6 will be AM5 and probably even Zen 7 will also be. So two more generations I am on AM5. So I think going with a good cooler, we also need a good power supply. And don't think we need to go to 1,000 watt because even if we go 60, 80, it will still only be like 400, 450 watt, and we won't use 450 watt on anything else. We maybe use 150 watt on the CPU, maybe 200 watt on the CPU. So I think we're pretty good if we go with 850 watts. This is not a high end, it's a mid tier gaming rig. And I think 1,000 kronos for this one. Very high quality. I think we would just go with this. This is a top-notch A tier one. This is not a cheap ass one. It's really good quality. Any of these are good quality. Some have better noise profiles, like the 12M and the 13M. The AG has a bit higher noise profile, around the 40 dB, I think. The LEDX is also really good, but I think, yeah, it's not in stock. And probably take a month before it get here. The edge is also really good, especially in cases with a lot of room. It's easier to handle the cables. But I think the C850 is really good. Now, what do we have now? I think we have all we need now, actually. The only thing we need is maybe Windows, and you could buy it on eBay or go to product, please, DK. I think it's this one down here, and just buy Windows 10. Yeah, Windows 10 Home. You don't want the professional edition. It doesn't have all the home things you want for home things. Professional has built-in remote desktop, and you can access domains. You can't do that on home editions, but you don't have all the connectivities from the home editions in the professional. They count on the domain to handle that. So just get the professional was better in Windows XP and back then, but not anymore. Go with the home edition. You don't have to buy this now. You can just get the ISO from Microsoft homepage. Make your use your current Windows 10 and make a bootable disk. Install it. It has to be Windows 10. You can't install Windows 11 and use this key. You have to install Windows 10 first, then upgrade to Windows 11. And once you have upgraded to Windows 11, you can then install a Windows 11, and then it will automatically get the key from your Microsoft account if you use that, or you have to save the key for later. But I would recommend at least once logging into a Microsoft account and save the key for your own Microsoft account. And then you can choose to log out of that and make a local account. But just for the sake of having the key stored, because if you later want to upgrade a lot of hardware, you don't have access to your key anymore, maybe. And then the Microsoft account will remember your key, and you can just say, oh, this is the key I want to use from this old build. and then you have access to it then. So what did we end up with? How much does it cost? We have ended up spending nearly 11,000. And I think if you buy it here, which one doesn't have it in stock? It's like 2 weeks and almost a month. I think this is no, that is not worth it. So 11,000 for everything. Oh, we still need a P12 Pro for the back, right? It's just 44 kronos. Put that in this. Since we don't need a lot of fans, we don't need extra fan hoops. I don't think there's a fan hoop included in this one. But if we needed one, we could just go with the Arctic one. See, it's only 40 kronos. So just go with this. It's quite easy. There is magnetic tape on, so you can just stick it to your case wherever you want, where there's room. So this is our build. You could also buy it all at Pro Shop, but there's no immediate benefits from doing that. Pro Shop doesn't provide extra support. If you buy things single like this, they won't help you troubleshoot if anything is wrong. Anyway, they don't have their own workshop where they can help you. So you would still have to troubleshoot everything yourself. So buying everything from Pro Shop is easier because maybe of we still need the liquid freezer though. I think we'd be better off going with quick delivery. It maybe cost a little bit more to ship, but that's okay. And then we have a really good mid-tier build here. We have good SK Hynix RAM. We have a fast AM5 we can build on. We can build on the B850. It has Wi-Fi 7. It has PCIe 5. And we have a very beautiful case here in the 207. You could also go with a fish tank, but it's up to you what you want to spend. I can share the links to the cases here in, in the description. I've been a big fan of this one for a long time. It's so beautiful. Such a nice case. But it's also a little expensive. Not a lot, but a little. But the good cases here is the 903 Max, Vantex XT Pro Ultra. It comes with a lot and good fans. We have the Pop Air. It also comes in black. I don't know much about the Asus A31, but it seems to be okay. The H6 is good, and this is nice. The Eclipse is also very good. The King 65 is not as good. You could also go with the Sky 2 side. It's the newer edition than this one. And the Pop XL is also really good. The Antix Flux is one of the best airflow cases. Well, I think we have made our choices now, and we stick to them. So tell me what you think in the comments. Did I choose the right components? Would you do it differently. Oh, I know what we're missing. We're missing SSD. God damn it, man. I think we will go. I think I have SSD somewhere. There we go. Almost forgot SSDs. Yeah, I think we need 2 gigabytes here. I think you would probably want more eventually, but for now it's okay. Do I have two or something else? 9 products is a lot. We have the extra fan. Looks right, right? With one graphics card, one motherboard, everything looks like it should. Yeah, but then we're just over 12,000. But it's also reasonable for mid tier. I think this is what mid tier should cost, between 12 and 10,000 Danish crowns. And we get a lot of good stuff here. We could shave off stuff, but that's for a different video, I think. We also always already used 30 minutes. So tell me what you think in the comments. Join me on Discord. Discord is in the bio, so go check it out.